Hello everyone and welcome back to Divinity. So between the last episode and this one, I actually started a co-op game with a buddy of mine, and we got a little bit further than this spot, so I know what's coming up, and it's probably a good thing that I do. So up here is the town, the first town that you're going to come across, and maybe the only town. I say the only town because this town is really large. There is a lot of things to do in this town, a lot of little side quests, and there is a ton of dialogue. A ton of dialogue. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because it's not. And as a RPG fan, I love talking to people, finding out everything about them. It's cool, and there's a lot of that in this town. Me and my buddy spent about 2 hours, and we didn't even explore everything the town had to offer. So what I'm probably going to do here is just hit some of the main points in the town that I know of right now, and that's going to be the main questline story dialogue stuff, and maybe a side quest thing here and there just to show them off. But there is a ton to do, and if I covered everything, it would probably take 2 or 3 episodes of me just going from person to person and talking. And since there is no voiceover for the dialogue options, it will take a long time because it's just going to be me reading off dialogue just non-stop, and I don't think that's going to be a very entertaining video for 2 or 3 videos, in a row. So I'm going to go in this town. You're going to see a lot of stuff, hear a lot of chatter, and I'm going to skip a lot of it. And I'm going to go, like I said, mainly hit the storyline of this game and maybe a side quest or 2. Now, the upside to this is, if you play this game, you are free to explore this town to your heart's delight and explore every single option and see what everybody has to say, which is what I'm going to be doing, but just off camera. I'm going to do most of the side stuff off camera so I get the XP and the story, basically. So I'm sorry I'm not going to hit every single NPC, but it's, like I said, we spent 2 hours exploring the city and we didn't even cover everything. And I just think that's going to make for a very boring video. It's still fun to play, don't think it's going to be that much fun to watch. So let's just enter the town. Hello. Aru. What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel. But I see we suffered another orc landing, and judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to the one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Sicil. I like his weapon. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Aru, at your service. It was I who requested your presence here in this troubled city. So this is the wizard. You see, I'm sure Source is tangled into the murder of Counselor Jake, but Captain Aureus, commander of the Legion in Sicil, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead. Alright, so let's start from the top here. Concerning Counselor Jake's murder, why are you convinced sorcery was used? It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that foul magic was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'll bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. You can find it in the King Crab Inn, by the way. The scene of the crime, I mean. The Legion has it under guard. Alright. The orcs we dispatched, they were led by a human. A human, you say? Truly. But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts, a shadowy set of worshippers that's associated even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves in a bit strangely nowadays. Behaves a bit strangely. I don't know quite what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It would be wise not to dismiss such a curious event out of hand. What exactly is the trouble you're having with the undead? The undead. Well, they're Sicil's main threat, aren't they? They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now, and for 2 years, the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballista, they'd have gotten the better of us by now. Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, searching for them is like searching for a single lice in a lion's mane. Okay. From what I've seen and heard, this isn't the first time you've had problems with marauding orcs. Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in the city's already choking throat. and it shows no signs of abating. We've cordoned off the western beach, where most orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure out what they're doing here. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Maybe they're after some fictitious pirate treasure. The fools. Ah! I'm glad we've met, Source Hunters, and I'm certain we have a lot more to talk about. Feel free to visit me whenever you want. I've set up a workshop in the Legion headquarters. Once you're there, just take the stairs, but do pay a visit to Arius first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the de facto leader of Sicile. I wish you luck, Hunter. May your enemies prove to be mere mice, and you the dauntless Mouser. Mouser?
Sorcery. Sects. Undead. Orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
A 2-bit love potion out of a back page circular from Youthful Gaul.
Oh no, these guys I think interrupted this conversation. Oh well. Okay, so we have met the wizard, and we've now entered the town, and there's a lot to do. And the thing is, what takes honestly a long time is that since you can barter with every single NPC in the game, I feel the need to check and see what they have, because we need skill books to learn new skills. I want new armor and new weapons, and everybody is different, I believe, each time you play the game. Because I have played this actually a couple times now, just trying to explore the town, and each time people have had different things. So I'm going to feel obliged to check everything, but I'm going to do that on my own time. So I'm not going to check these crates, these barrels, or anything, but I will when I'm not recording. I just don't want to spend time in this video doing that. But what I will do is head right over here into the docks, and you'll see that the orcs set this ship on fire. Now luckily for me, I do happen to have a scroll of rain here, or a rain scroll. So I'm going to cast that, do a little dance, make a little, never mind, and we put this ship out. And now everyone's happy. We got some experience. Journal has been updated. Oh. Well, I think what happened is, before I even started recording, I grabbed this chest right here that's outside the walls, and I saw this ship, so I think my journal was updated with like, hey, there's a ship on fire. And I think this update was taking this away from my main journal entry, because these are your active quests, basically. Alright, so that's really all of interest in this section. There are objects you can look into, people you can talk to, but I'll do that again on my own time. I will check out this one side quest over here. Oh, and there's a waypoint. Oh, and if you have Pet Pal, the perk, you can talk to Bill and Bull. I highly suggest you do. I don't think I took that, right? I don't think I did. Yeah. Oh, no, I did. Oh, okay, cool. Tokshen did. Alright, excellent. Sorry, like I said, I've actually created a few characters testing out different builds. I've forgotten who has what. Okay, so let's talk to Bill. Because you have the talent Pet Pal, you can easily converse with animals. Bill, well, tug my tail and call me Bessie, a 2 feet addressing me directly. I thought I'd never see the day. Tell me a bit about yourself. Oh, me and my brother Bull have dragged this here cart all around Sicile, from dock to graveyard and back again. Speaking of Bull, you ought to say hello to him. He's clairvoyant, you know. Can tell your fortune to the T.
Farewell.
And you can actually hear him say farewell. Let's talk to Bull. I'm seeing a 2 feet approaching me, and here you are! My powers astound even me. I love Bull. Tell me about yourself. I'm Bull, the leading clairvoyant in Sicile. The 2 feet's never bothered to ask, but I see all that is, and is to be. Can you tell me my fortune? Of course, most winsome 2 feet, of course. What would you like to know? How will I die? Death. Ever the most difficult topic to foretell. I see... Oh dear. No. Your reading is over, do you hear? Over! And I like that. I actually have already talked to them before, so I knew what they were going to say, but that's just kind of funny. He's pretending to be clairvoyant, and he's like, oh, I see your death. Oh, nope, I can't even talk about it. It's so gruesome. I love it. I love it. And I think we should be able to hear them talk to each other if I stand around. There we go.
Gold and silver planets and square aspects suggest a struggle within you.
A struggle? What kind of struggle?
for the signs of
Can't even smell the sea air
Tell
over
me,
this rot.
have you felt Draconis Major interfering with your moon phase in the past fortnight?
Yes, I'm sure of it. Tell it to mind its own business.
Slimy,
There's
reeky,
that
rotten
famous
sea
Scorpius
garbage.
temper of yours.
And you can't do any of this unless you have the pet pal perk, so I really suggest that you pick it up. You can talk to chickens, any animal, and there's a lot of animals in this town. Alright, so one side thing I wanted to do is go into this warehouse. Oh, and also be very careful. Me and my buddy did this the first time we came in here. At this point in the game, we were so used to just kind of checking everything that we walked over here, and I remember my buddy picked up this bucket. Now, there is a red hand over this bucket, and there is no warning if you steal. If you pick it up, if it's red, it's not going to be like, are you sure you want to pick this up? You take it. And as soon as he did, everyone aggroed us, and they killed us instantly, because this guy's like level 6. I think he one-shotted me and my friend in the same turn. So be careful what you're picking up. Just make sure it's not red, because they will instantly aggro you. They won't be like, hey, why are you stealing? They like kill you. It's pretty brutal. So alright, we're going to go through this warehouse.
From youthful gore.
And we see an orc here with 2 guards.
Greetings.
Curious. Ah, who better than a proven I can't talk. Orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets. Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile, but my prejudiced friend here still wants to kill her. What's this about a charmed orc? My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, as long as eternity, we locked eyes. Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared, towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly? I don't know that word. Fling my pouch of trinkets towards her. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, she became instantly enamored. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never willingly join up with those vicious marauders. I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds? A love potion. Tell me more. I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthal Gore about an amazing opportunity that could change my life, I had to act fast or lose the once-in-a-lifetime deal. I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only, and it worked exactly as promised. You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all this cash on snake oil and bringing a temporary tranquilized monster into our midst to boot. What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects of the potion will be everlasting as printed. So let me jump into this and tell them what I think. You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to save him from this murderous darling. Okay. So how do I feel about this? She's got to be put down, or let her live? I like the idea of this. I'm going to let her live. Let her live. If that potion were truly worthless, it wouldn't have been able to charm her in the first place. In this docile state, she may prove to be a source of valuable information. And then Kara agrees with me. So, I thought about it, and I may still do this. I may recreate this game with the same characters, but I may change her AI to be random. That way she could counteract me, because those are interesting moments. I did a couple of those with my co-op buddy, and when you disagree with each other, you go into a paper, rock, scissors game. I'm not even kidding, to decide who wins the argument. And it's pretty cool, so I may redo all this. Same characters, but change her AI. Because I don't think I can change it in the game. I'll have to look. But anyway. So she agreed with me. So I will continue. Nennius, the lover boy. Bravo! I trust not only the potion, but my scaly sweetheart in and of herself. Oh, you're going to regret this. We're all going to regret this.
Bye.
And there we go. We got XP. We have saved this charmed she-orc. But the interesting part is that everything that I've completed that's actually ended is is taken away from this list. So, this does do something in the future, because it's still on the main list. So, the She-Orc quest line here is not over. I'm kind of curious what's going to happen since we let her live. Let us keep going. Alright, so we've only talked to... How many people have we talked to? Like 2? And you can only see how long it's taken to do that. And there are tons of people. Oh, we talked to 3. Because we talked to Bill and Bull. So this is going to be the gate that takes us out to the beach where the orcs are, but we're not going to go there yet, because we have to talk to the Commander Arius. I'm just going to scroll over here and move our characters. Ooh, I didn't notice that before. That's a trap door. And a chest. Can I get up there? Aha, okay. So if I click there, there's no path there, so we must have to get there through this trap door. I wonder how we get there. Okay. And so you can talk and barter to every single one of these people, and I have, so I know. We have a lot of buildings. Here is a general store that's closed indefinitely. We have a Mortician's office over here, another exit to the beach over here, one of the magically infused ballista, which you can use, but not in combat, so I'm going to try and test that out. Because there is a group of bad guys close to the walls north of here, so I'm going to try and separate these people, and then leave one on the walls with the ballista, and then activate the fight, and then see if I can fire at the bad guys. But here's the Mortician's office. And I'm going to step in here because this is part of the main quest line, kind of. We're going to go upstairs and talk to the Mortician, Roberts.
Greetings.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues and another soul flying to his death? Yeah, those statues. We'll get to those later, probably. Alright. What can you tell me about Jake's murder? Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker, especially not these days, with so many laid low by the orcs and such like. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace. Let's ask about his body. What about it? Didn't I just say we gave it a respectable send-off? Why are you giving me the 3rd degree? Now, if you don't mind, I'm just trying to run a business here.
Bye.
So, he kind of shrugged us off there when we asked about the body, but he did mention that it was buried in a graveyard in the north of the town. Now, when I went through this the last time, obviously I didn't record that, but when I went through I was like, maybe I should check this graveyard. So you know what? Let's check the graveyard real fast. We do have a shovel on our character. Also, this guy leads to something else, but I won't talk to him yet. Oh, this is the wrong way. Wait. We have to go this way. There we go. Graveyard is over here.
Oh, it goes to and fro. The city's youth.
Okay. So you can dig up every single one of these graves. I'm not going to do that because some of them have surprises, and I would like you to find that on your own, but there are some funny stuff, and it is worthwhile digging these all up. Just to let you know.
Rest in peace, darling.
Now his grave is right here, and you see this dog right here is kind of walking around.
He's
there you go.
awfully agitated.
Perhaps he wants to tell us something.
Now last time I went through here, I did not have a pet talker, so I'm going to use tokshen here. That is his name, right? I've named so many characters. Sorry, I've been kind of forgetting.
Are you here, Jake?
Yes, okay. Oh, there you go. We can actually hear him. Cool. Let's talk to him. Hey, wow, I was wondering where that awesome sweaty boot smell was coming from, and here you are. Wow, this is great. I'm Murphy, Jake's dog. Wow, you smell great. Have you been rolling around the dead things all day? That's my favorite hobby, too. Let's talk about your master's death. Okay, bow? I don't know. If I ever find out who killed Jake, the most awesome Jake who ever jaked, the most awesome Jake who ever jaked, I'll bark so much. Seriously, so much you have no idea. I like the writing for this dog, how he's just happy and energetic. Oh, Murphy. Okay, tell me about yourself. You know who I miss? Jake. Sometimes he just sit there being awesome, and I'd give him this look like, you smell great. And he gave me this look like, you do too, Murphy. And he was my best friend. I came here so I could smell Jake again. He smelled great, but whatever's buried there doesn't smell like Jake at all. No, it's definitely not Jake. He was awesome. Thank you, boy, for letting us know. So now we definitely know there's something up with Jake's grave here.
Here lies Jake. Please do not disturb.
So let's disturb.
Jake, where are you? Are you here, Jake? Jake!
So we dug up his coffin.
What trickery is this? That's not Jake.
It's
a
a rotten
sheep's
sheep's
corpse.
corpse. It seems someone snatched Jake's body.
Let's take the sheep's course, because I know that there is a quest revolving around a missing sheep. But that's why I'm going to take the corpse. Now up here is a very sad lady. And I did a very bad thing with this sad lady in another gameplay that I'm not going to do here, but you're free to explore that if you ever play this game. Also, that I wanted to point out, there is this secret mound here, and if we dig this up, this actually leads to an underground cave. I'm not going to go down there right away, but we'll probably come back to that a little later. For right now, we're still going to go and talk to Commander Arius. And again, you can dig up every single grave. Some of them have surprises, some of them don't. I'd say it's worthwhile. Okay, so here's the gate I was talking about. So, my plan is to have them open up this gate, and then I will leave someone up here to activate this ballista, and then we would initiate a fight against these undead guys over there. But we'll do that later. Here's another waypoint. I think I already activated that. Again, for right now, I'm ignoring everybody and everything for the most part. And going straight to the headquarters. You can see we have a warm status because we were by the fire there. Here's a mess hall. You know what? I will do this.
Greetings! These stores are for our Legion troops. Riverlong's finest work up mighty fine appetite serving the Seven.
Sure they do. Let's open the door. What's going on in here? Step aside, step aside. This maniac's gonna turn me into meat pie. Oh, cool. We're actually hearing the chicken. Oh, you need to have a character that has the pet perk. Like, you need to. There's so much you're gonna miss if you don't have it. Isn't it a chicken's destiny to be eaten? We should catch it and give it back to the cook. But you know what? I'm a pet pal, so a chicken has the right to live too. And she agrees, of course she does. Let's pardon him. Just look at the little blighter. He doesn't deserve the knife. I agree. Yippee-ki-yay. Mother effer. I'm free, so long, suckers.
Why'd you let my chicken escape?
Run, Jake. Get out of here. Sorry, Cook Morris. Let's talk to him real fast. Stand down with that weapon or I'll lodge a formal complaint with the Council of Seven. Oh. Oh, and then we can fight him. I'm sorry. Okay, because you can press tab to put the weapon away and... Okay. Whoops, sorry. Oh, we say the chicken.
These stores are for our Legion troops. Riverlong's
Barrow's a bridge troll. Get to shining, recruit.
Sorry, sir.
You have some recruits with a drill instructor, and now here is the Legion headquarters. Now, we have not even been through everything yet. We just took this one path. There is still a trading bazaar right here. There's also like a small circus. Well, not a circus, but there's like performers that we can talk to, and there's side quests there. There's a side quest over here that I found, and now we can explore. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. A lot of talking. I'm going to try to keep the talking to just one episode, which is going to be this one. I don't think there's going to be any fighting in this one. I'm just going to try and get through the main storyline here. So apologies if you're looking for fights. Not going to happen. So here is Commander Arius.
Greetings.
You know what? Let me actually take a drink here. Sorry, my throat, from talking so much, my throat is actually getting a little parched. What have we here then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Ha! Look, do what you must in Seal, but don't make waves, and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs, you hear? I have enough on my mind running expeditions into hostile territory. How about you tell me about yourself? Well, I'm Captain Arius, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Seal, by which I mean I have the inviolable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead, for I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn them into driveling hordes of their own misshapen number. Whew. Okay, let's discuss Jake's murder. Gods above, some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous. I told that wizard brat of Wait, I told that wizard brat of an Aru. Of an Aru? I don't think... Okay, anyway, not to bother. But he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop, understand? I am in command of this town. Oh, I like the song in the background, by the way. Just a lady singing. Anyway, sorry, the music is pretty good in this game. I'm in command of this town, not Mayor Cecil, not Aru, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined, but report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you. Let's talk about Jake's wife, Esmeralda. Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has a reputation of being a flirt, there is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps? That certainly would explain some of the cock-ups you lot have made in the past. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring the evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. Legion relies on reason, see, not idle superstition. Let's talk about his corpse. I see. You've come to report a dead sheep. A heap of mutton that sailed into view upon your robbing the grave of a counselor. Lovely. Well, don't just stand there gawking like guppies. Hie yourselves to Roberts, the Mortician. If anyone buried a sheep, obviously it was him. Okay, so we'll have to go back to the Mortician. Let's discuss the undead. Whew. Listen, you may be here for other matters entirely, but if there is one useful thing you can actually do around here, it's to stick your nose into the affairs of the undead. The stench will likely make you gasp for air, but between you and me, those 7 worthless gods up there... Oh, and the 7 worthless gods up there. It's about time someone other than the Legion gives this charade a shot. I can only hope some fresh ideas are coursing through that source-obsessed brain of yours, and that they will take root before the undead scoop those same brains from out of your shattered skulls. Sorry, I'm losing focus from, I guess, just talking too much, I don't know. They seem to be a bit weaker in the west. As good a place as any to start if you want to flex your muscles. Okay. Let's talk about other matters. The Legion is none of your concern, but fine, go ahead. Let's discuss the expeditions into hostile territory you mentioned. Whew. The bravest of the brave went out looking for the source of the undead. Volunteers all. Those men, for that is the pact we made. The walking dead spawn an endless number, but someone or something must be responsible for each and every one of those miserable buggers. And that is why the Legion is making renewed efforts to locate this accursed fountainhead of death. Too long have we been on the defensive. It is time for action, even if it claims more Legion lives. Souls of steel to a man, my soldiers. They fight by the lighthouse, they fight by the burial mounds, and they fight by the old church. Gods grant that they may find the rotten root from which those scuffling monsters spring, and that they may fulfill their missions. Whew, so all of this was to get to some side quests to locate, I think, lost legionnaires at the lighthouse, burial mounds, and old church. And we have to ask about every single one of them. Okay, there's a lighthouse to the west, up on the bluffs overlooking the sea. No man has gone there in a decade, and yet a light shines forth from its pinnacle every night. The locals say it's haunted, and if there's ghosts involved, maybe necromantic magic is in play as well. Half a dozen legionnaires have gone to find out. So far I can but hope they are safe. There are ancient funeral grounds all over the place north of the city. Good as place as any to start looking for necromancers, wouldn't you say? Doesn't exactly take a genius to figure that one out. Some local archaeologists offer to tag along with the men. Here's hoping his knowledge on the subject may prove to be a boon. And then there is an old church to the northeast of here, built atop the very place where once stood a temple dedicated to the source. The Sicilians raised it and built a church for the 7, supposedly to symbolize the victory of the gods over evil sorcery or some such superstitious mumbo-jumbo. Anyway, when the dead rose, that is where they were first spotted, which makes it a likely candidate to house the origin of the outbreak. May my soldiers make it there and back again unscathed. So now we have 3 additional side quests to go find these Legionnaires. And then there is still so much more to do. So I will go through this in my own time, and I will come back in the next episode, and we're going to talk to Aru the Mage. We're probably going to go talk to the Mortician, and then we're going to investigate the scene of the crime in the King's Crab Inn, and maybe make a friend or two. Just saying. So, thanks for watching this episode, everybody. I know there's no combat, and there's... Well, I'll see if I can get some combat in tomorrow. Maybe I'll go searching for the Legionnaires instead of continuing the main quest line. I don't know. I'll see how things go. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Take care.